Hello and welcome to another episode of Sean's Mortgage Agility, where we talk about everything lender related. I'm your host, Sean Smith, and I am a mortgage loan officer at Morty. I originate loans in Texas, Oklahoma, and Florida. So if you have any lending needs in those states, please give me a call. I'll help you out. Today's topic is discount points and lender credits. So let's go ahead and get to it. Discount points and lender credits. Permanent buy down. Discount point permanent buy down. Paying for points to buy down an interest rate. How many points? We'll find out. Rates go down, but you must pay, of course. What is a point? We'll discuss that in a second. A point is 1% of the loan for a certain decrease in the amount of interest rate. Should you buy one? Look at that. How long you will own the property. That's what will dictate if you should buy one. Performing a break even on the point investment. So here's an example of a break even for our discount points. Okay, so we're purchasing the points for $3,000 investment in points, which lowers our interest rate from 6.75% to 6.25%, a decrease of 0.5%, of course. For example, this lowers interest rate savings. It gives us a savings of $50.62 per month. So we're going to divide our outlay of $3,000 by the $50.62 a month. And that comes out to 59.27 months divided by 12 gives us 5 years before we break even. So if you're not really going to be in the property more than 5 years, you might consider a different way of doing your loan because you're not really saving anything by purchasing those points if you're only in the property for less than 5 years. Lender credits, lower closing cost at a price. We're going to touch on this just briefly. Lender credits work the same way as points, but in reverse. You pay a higher interest rate, and the lender gives you money to offset the closing cost. When you receive the lender credits, you pay less upfront, but you pay more over time because of the higher interest rate. So I'm going to discuss this further during the APR, the annual percentage rate video, basically because it affects the closing costs, and the closing costs, as you'll see, really affects the APR. The interest rate also does, but definitely as far as the fees go, the closing cost of the lender credits will make it go up. All right, let's go to the spreadsheet that I've created, and we can see some examples of this a little bit better. Okay, this is the spreadsheet I've created, and I'd like to say from the start that this is only for demonstration purposes. I'm not recommending how to do anything as far as what loan you should take out or not. You should do your own due diligence when it comes to that. So with that said, here, as we discussed in the slides, this is the rate of 6.75%. We bought that down with our discount points to 6.25%. We've paid $3,000 for those discount points. Our loan is $300,000. A point, of course, is 1%. Our break-even point when we do that is 2 years or 2.5 years before we break even. And what I've done here is I've broken out these scenarios into the amortization with points, amortization without points, and then the amortization without points, but a pay down. And what that means is basically instead of buying the points, we're just taking the $3,000 and we're putting it towards the loan principal itself to bring that down to $297,000. Okay. So let's look at the amortization with points. First of all, this is a 360-month loan, which makes it a 30-year fixed. And as you can see, if we use our points, if we buy down the interest rate with points, That brings our monthly payment to $1,847.15. Without points, it is $1,945.79. And if we just buy down the loan itself, that brings the total loan from $300,000 down to $297,000, of course, and our payment of $1,926.34. Okay, so let's go down to the bottom here and we can see how this breaks out after we pay off the loan in 360 payments. So if we pay our points, we can see over here, let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so we can see that the difference in interest between the 6.75% versus the 6.25% breaks out to $35,511.37. Okay, so that is what we're going to save by knocking that down. So without, as you can see, the total interest that we're paying with the points is $364,974.58. Without the points, it's $400,485.54. So saving us $35,000. So that's a little over $35,000. That's a pretty good chunk of money for only paying $3,000. Okay. And what I've done here is I subtracted that $3,000 that we paid for the points. So really that breaks out to a savings of $32,511.37. Here, and if we just buy down the loan, we're just going to buy down the loan. And that brings us up to, we still have a savings, of course, because we're buying down the loan with the $3,000. But that still brings us down to a total interest of $396,481.08. So we have a savings of roughly, and I didn't take off the $3,000 because we started off with the loan at $297,000, of course. So that brings us to a savings of $28,506.51. And total interest principal buy down of 7,400 or 7,004. So that's versus the two interest rates. All right, so that does it for discount points and lender credits. The next video will be on the APR, the annual percentage rate, and we'll discuss this part here. And we'll also be using the spreadsheet at that time. So that does it for this video. Have a great day.